All right, we're back. We're ready for round one. And apparently I lied to you. I just read an article that I didn't know about, that Kaladesh is being released on Wednesday on Magic Online, not on Friday as they have typically done in the past, which means I can do a Kaladesh video for next week, which is great. It's probably going to be one of my first videos of the format, but yeah, I'm super stoked. That's just great. I can play it sooner. I can have the video up, because I always think we're going to keep this, but I'm going to rant for another second. I always think it sucks when there's a new set out and you go to your favorite site to watch draft videos and they're the old format and you're like, ugh, I got to wait a week for them to get around to it. And I didn't want to be that guy, and now I don't have to be. That is fantastic. All right, cool. Let's keep this because it looks good. We can answer an early threat, get our white mana. Shelduck Isle is online. I would say we don't have to worry about a wasteland because we have one, but it's a whole different world now. By the time this gets online, the card that's most likely to be relevant is the Zealous Conscripts. So I'm going to stash that under there, and then we'll let the rest of this go. We can do without it for now. We do have some shuffles, so it's not like we're never going to see those cards again. Well, this could be good or bad. Some of the things they entomb, we could roast. All of them, we can Sower of Temptation. But we could also just be dead. It's Gristlebrand. So if they can get it in play right now, we probably cannot win. Yeah, this is not a hand that many decks are going to be able to interact with. That's a nice counterspell there, buddy. All right, so what plan do we have to interact with Gristledad? Probably just get to 4 and take it and see if there's a game left. Which means we are going to need to draw an untapped land. I don't care about the wasteland now. I want to at least represent counterspell. Like, presumably they're going to draw 7 and hit us. Maybe we can burn them out? Because they're going to take 1 every time they do it. That's meh. Cube is fun. Of note, they're going to turn on our Shelduck Isle pretty quickly by drawing like this. So we may be able to borrow that Gristlebrand for just a turn. Just a turn. I mean, they may not need it. They played a land before they activated it and are playing 2 colors, which is interesting. So now like we need to hit a land. So if they'll cast anything for us, we will certainly counter it just so we can scry for an untapped land. If they don't, again, we can borrow Gristledad and at least slow the clock down a little bit. But this could be real bad for us right here. Stop hitting me, Gristledad. We can't roast it because it's a flyer. Just please cast something. Cool. Now I need you to activate Gristlebrand again. And why wouldn't you? Preordain I don't want. I want an untapped land. I realize that helps me find one, but I kind of need it right now. Or for them to activate this, that would help us find one. Who's a genius? Did you say me? You were right. It is me. This doesn't really solve our problem, but it starts things going in the right direction. Because even if they untap and kill the Sower, they've lost a whole turn cycle of interacting with this. And we'll be able to borrow it again and maybe get to something that can handle it. I can't think of anything right now, but like Plains and a Johnny starts to do a thing. Yeah, and like I can't go to 1 here, can I? If I had a single card answer in the deck, I could. We don't have the Nahiri. I can't look at my list, so we've got to go entirely on memory. Well, you don't. You can back it up and look. I've got to go entirely on memory. If I draw, I can't take it next turn, so I think I have to let this happen. There's no reason for them to draw the cards. So we're not dead next turn, but we're starting to get close. Okay, Pestermite does buy me a turn and get this online, because I can flash in the Pestermite and tap it. Still have Burst Lightning up and then take it and hit them with it. So it kind of starts to do something. I don't think it long-term solves the problem, though. Like, what I may need to do is be able to race it. It's like I'm trying to decide if I want to play the Solemn, because I'll be able to take it next turn and gain the 6 back anyway. So I may want to play the Solemn so that I have the mana to play the Batterskull. I think that's where I'm at. Because Ajani is a possible solution. Is he non-land permanent? I should know that. Here, I'm actually going to Google that. That's one of the things you can do when you're playing Magic Online. And we can do it here. So what do you do, Ajani Vengeant? Target permanent doesn't untap. Alright, that does handle... Well, it means all Gristlebrand does is give them like 7 Phyrexian Arenas, but other than that... It's no NBD. Sarkin plus a land would also start to do it. Like milling them out may be a strategy for us to win with this. Without a island, I can't play the Zealous Conscripts and the Pestermite. But I guess we start to pressure them a little bit. I mean, they're going to discard. That's got to be good, right? So I guess Untapped Island followed by Ajani is a really good start. Or just Ajani off the top. I guess I can point these at their face next turn and deal 5 damage to at least prevent some card draw. Alright, we hit the island. So things are starting to go correct here. These two kicked to just answer it, don't they? So I'd need 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm a land away from just being able to kill him. By kill him, I mean the Gristlebrand, not my opponent, obviously. If we could blink Gristlebrand here, like if we had a Restoration Angel, that'd be fantastic. We don't, and we can't. But that's alright, that's alright. Do get to see a lot of their deck. Got Elish as another reanimation target. Good mana. Vindicate for removal. Obliterator's a scary card if they get it in play. But again, imagine if we put the Geist of St. Traft under this, which is a little tempting. We didn't know what we're up against or anything like that, but it's a very powerful card. I think Zealous Conscripts here is one of the few ways we start to get out of this. We obviously don't have the combo. Well, we know we don't have it in the deck, but it's obvious to our opponent that we don't have it in hand, or we'd have just cast this and comboed off and killed them. It's hard to imagine they have 7 cards that just do nothing in their hand, though. All right, we'll pause it while they're thinking through this attack step. Interesting to note, none of the cards in our deck can deal with Phyrexian Obliterator. There used to be a card in, I think it was in Dark Ascension, called Rack with Madness, that's target creature deals damage equal to, it deals damage to itself. I think Inner Struggle is similar to that from the latest set. Looks like they just lost connection. But like, that was hot sideboard tech for a while when people were jamming Phyrexian Obliterators, because if this deals 5 damage to itself, then they have to sacrifice 5 permanents, and you could cast it and just wipe their entire board with it. I actually played Standard when Scars and Innistrad was the standard block, so I have some fond memories about some of these cards. Lingering Souls, Phyrexian Obliterator, things of that nature. But that was some of the hot sideboard tech of yesteryear. Anyway, looks like they're back. That's good. We are faced with a bit of a question here, which is, do you want to go to 1 to look at 7 cards and find a Johnny? Or do you want to use this Pestermite to tap it next turn and look at 1 card with the idea that you're going to play the Batter Skull and then start basically taking 2 a turn from there? And like, we can beat 2 a turn, and they're not likely to have much that can interact with the Batter Skull when there's a Vindicate in the graveyard. So like, we've actually got a decision here to make, but I think I'm going to take the line of tapping it, because that means we get 1 more turn. That means I get to resolve the Batter Skull. They'll hit us back down to 2, and then I can start like equipping the Batter Skull here, and we're actually winning the race. Again, 1 more land, and we could just burn Gristlebrand. Like, they're not playing pump spells. The kind of scary part about getting it off the board is, if they're playing a real reanimation deck, they're likely to have more ways to reanimate things, and they're likely to have that in their hand. I guess the line I'm taking is putting me pretty close to dead to reanimate Elish Norn. They've disconnected again. That may be the way that we win, but like, it's worth talking through these lines as we're thinking about it, because if I'm thinking they've got another reanimation spell in hand, and they should unless their deck sucks, then they're going to ploop out Elish. This is going to be 8 power, and I'm dead next turn. Now, I can still flash this in and tap it, but then what am I even looking to draw? I'm still looking to draw the Ajani. And my Batter Skull ain't really doing crap. And I'm not able to kill I'd have to burn this, which means I'd have to hit a land, which means I'm not burning that. So I think I've just talked myself into draw the cards, find a Ajani, so that I can tap this, have a land drop, and burn Elish Norn when they reanimate it. And then, like, fail case, I don't draw a Johnny. That's okay, we still Pestermite it, because they're very unlikely to burn me out. Like, they would need Sign in Blood, or like Profane Command or something, which are cards they could have. But I don't think I can play around anything other than the Gristlebrand that is in play currently killing me, and the Elish Norn, which I have a strong suspicion they can reanimate. God, if they had the Obliterator in play, I could just Burst Lightning it and sack the Gristlebrand. It'd probably still be killing me, but some interesting gameplay decisions in Cube, like them disconnecting and giving me time to think through this, I think has made me decide I would like to go to 1 and draw the cards, please. Isn't that bizarre? Alright, they're back. No worries. And again, if they had 0 cards in hand, I think we'd just go with the Pestermite line. Since they don't, I think we have to draw the cards looking for a Johnny. Because unless they have 0 cards, unless they just have nothing, we've got to find something, right? So here we've got Flame Slash and Lightning Strike, which does kill it. I could do that and still get a preordain off. Like, again, I need it dead, but I kind of think they're going to be able to pull this off. I have to do this now because the slash is an instant. So I kill this and then fire off a preordain. If I'm going to do that, I may as well fire off the preordain first and see what we're hitting, right? I don't really want an incinerate, and I don't really want a plateau. I do want a Johnny. Okay, this actually worked out all right. So there's 4, and there's 7. Now, they're likely to be able to recast it. So we're going to have to be able to Pestermite and a Johnny in the same turn, which means I need 1 untapped land. This Roast is not likely to do anything unless they reanimate Elish. So, like, these are my outs to them reanimating Elish. I think that means I toss the man lands for sure. Like, I don't need those, and I can toss one more thing. It could be the Soulfire Grandmaster at this point, because, like, I'm not recycling these. Yeah. We'll go here, because this leaves me enough mana to be able to tap something and hold it down with the Johnny, or just burn out something with 7 power. I don't think that's going to work like you want it to, but oh, because you're getting Elish Norn. Okay, well, like I said, we knew they were reanimating Elish Norn, and we're prepared for that. We can beat Elish. We can't beat Elish and this, unfortunately. I don't think. Can we? Because I've got to play this with kicker to kill Elish. Four, 5, 6. That's not enough. All right, so let's start looking here. So I can get 5. So it's that, and then Burst Lightning kills that guy. So I can actually do this. All right, so I just need to leave a red up. I think I have the mana to pull this off. So I roast her. That's 5. Burst Lightning is 7. A Johnny -2 kills that. Alright, and whatever they reanimate next, we can tap with the Pestermite and keep locked down with a Johnny. Because, like, if they had that, they've probably got something else. Like, it's a reanimator deck. They're going to have reanimation spells in their reanimation decks. So we ain't out of the woods yet, but we're still playing Magic. Let's have some delicious Coke Zero. Hey, look, another Elish Norn. How could we have seen that coming? Oddly enough, they're at 6. We got some burn spells. Crap, that was our best way of dealing with it. Geist ain't gonna do it. So I think we start with a loot. Because we can stall a turn, and if we can draw some more burn, we may be able to get rid of her. So Sarkhan's 4. I certainly want to have him in play so that it can be part of a bolting party. Geist we don't need. Well, I'm going to have to cast this Pestermite this turn. That leaves me 3 mana left over, and I can't do anything with it. Have I used all the burn that could do it? Oddly enough, Sarkhan plus this would have done it. But I'm pitching this to try to find the things and do the stuff. I will, again, eventually kill them with a batter skull once all of this dust settles. So I think we go here and here. We make our land drops because we probably need it. I could play a batter skull and chump, which is fine because it still leaves the equipment, but that puts me like a little rough to a removal spell. Like I just die if they have a removal spell, and I don't have a real plan afterwards, right? Like that would put me to 6. So I think I'm supposed to tap it because I can't get anything to put this on, right? Like I could equip Sarkin, and then they're hitting me for 4, and I'm hitting them for 6 lifelink. But then they just hit Sarkin back down, right? Yeah, that doesn't last very long. I think I need to tap it and see if I can draw another cheap burn spell. And I don't know that I have many left. I think there's one more. But I've at least got another turn with the batter skull. But we ain't dead yet. Yeah, we'll use that ability. You clearly need more cards over there, buddy. I mean, this guy has haste, right? And so if we draw a 4 damage spell now, we can just kill him. I don't think we have one, but we could. Oh, except he doesn't actually do that because he's -2/-2. Okay, okay. So now we are at the block it with batter skull plan. It's not a good plan, but it's mine. And it's kind of all we got. If we don't die next turn and draw some sort of 2 mana damage spell, we could kill them here. Well, that's just funny. Okay. I'm not 100% sure about the lines we've taken here. I do know that we had to draw the cards with Gristlebrand and put our life low because they had too many reanimation spells for us not to do something. Do we have anything we can do here? No, those man lands I threw away would have been really useful here because we could have activated. No, not if I'd gone the batter skull line. Okay. We died. It sucked. We're sad. Was I supposed to keep the Is It charm? I don't think so. I don't think so. So we're gonna have to do some interesting things to be able to beat this deck. Ashiok is a powerful card against them. Active Aggression is reasonable. I want to cut any burn that can't go to the face or isn't a lot of damage. So like Roast and Flame Slash together make a card. These are my burn spells. Yeah, I didn't have anything to draw. I guess FTK would have done it. Yeah, this is where I really want another counter spell, and I don't have one. Active Aggression can steal a game out of nowhere, and I don't think we're going to have time to derp around with the Soulfire Grandmaster. So I think I like something like this. Like once they get their thing animated, we can take it and do something. Growl may not be enough, but it's another 3 damage spell, and it can go to the face. The Kavu doesn't look like it's actually going to do anything at all. Like we've kind of got to combo pieces to be able to stop them. This is a really bad matchup for us. I could take it out for the Serendib Efreet with the idea that I can just cast this, and if they're not hitting their stuff on point, maybe we can just kill them. The Revoker looks a little weak too. I think I'm going to cut the Revoker for Ratchet Bomb and put Ratchet Bomb on 2 to stop Animate Dead, and then potentially be able to pump it up to 4. There's not a lot of good solutions here, and I don't want to over-sideboard. The Active Aggression at least plays nicely with a Thing in the Ice, which is another kind of oh crap button. All of their white mana was susceptible to Wasteland, so I could consider cutting a Plains now that we're just basically playing this in a Johnny. But I think I like this for going on the play. I'm going to try to still be assertive while having one decent sideboard card. This is close to keepable. It needs 1 island and we've got 10. So the math says, when are we going to have it? We're probably going to have it on turn 3. I think we're supposed to keep this even though it's not particularly good. We should hit an island by turn 3. 3 draws, rather. We've at least got the Spellskite to get out, which can do some interesting things. So we're not likely to hit the island in the first 2 draws, but we should by the next one. They're just going to exhume that, and it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. All right, we're playing the same kind of game we were before. We hit the island. That's really good. This is where something like a Swords to Plowshares would be great. But they're going to exhume that or reanimate it, and we're going to have to really, really dirtle hard to stop it. It's like Pestermite, attack. I can also play the Spellskite and Preordain this turn to try to find a quicker solution. Like once they gain the 7 back and draw the 7 cards, we're almost in an unassailable position. Because like what am I hoping to do? Tap it and then pressure their life total enough that they can't get out of it? I have to find an answer to that. This gives me 1 draw step, this gives me 2, but gives them 7 cards in the process. I think given that I've got stuff to do, what does Raoul even do here? Like I play him and neg him. I play him and plus him to get Sarkhan into play and then attack them with Sarkhan and that. That limits their availability to draw cards. I guess I go with this. Like Raoul's probably just going to soak damage and I'm probably just going to end up casting the Spellskite next turn anyway, but keeping them at 12 with burn spells to draw I guess is okay too. And if they kept a 1-lander, maybe we're doing something. Okay, so I certainly want to Tarn before I do anything else. Like we can play Raoul, hit him for 5. They gain 7 back, so we're basically putting them to 14, which means they're going to be a little nervous about drawing the cards. They kill Raoul, we play Sarkhan, we hit. It's still not really getting us anywhere. It's just so miserable to play against a Gristlebrand this early when your deck can't really do much about it, but I guess that's still the world I want to live in. They're not going to ignore Raoul. It's free to take it out. But I guess it puts us in a situation where we can start looking for Zealous Conscripts because we'll be at 5 mana next turn. So maybe that's what we should do now, is preordain looking for the Zealous Conscripts. Because if I'm going to scry off of this, I need to go ahead and pop the Scalding Tarn. And I think I am. Do I need double white for anything? No. So let's go fish and see if we can find some burn. Dissolve I don't want. Zealous Conscripts is exactly what I do want. So we'll hit for 2, play the Spellskite, leave up a blue to activate it, play the Zealous Conscripts, take their Gristledad, negate the damage that this does, and maybe find some way to interact from here. Them killing this is actually not good for us. Reason being, it takes some amount of pressure off. So like they're going to hit up to 17. Hopefully they draw, because if they do, they're dead. So like I think our biggest out here is our opponent making a mistake. Because they don't need to do anything to win this game. Yeah, they figured that out. So if I take the Batter Skull, because the thing is, hitting them back down to 7 doesn't do a lot, does it? Well, it again makes sure that I have some pressure in play and I can draw some cards if I want to. I'm not really sure what to do with them. Ugh, Gristlebrand, why are you so good? I think we've got to take this and draw again. They've got access to so many cards. Like, they obviously can't draw now. They can next turn. But we could find burn to either take care of Gristlebrand or maybe take care of them. We'll still be at 12, and that's still dead in 2 hits to Gristledad. But I just feel like we need the cards. I normally don't like Reanimator and Cube because it's a 3-card combo. You need the thing to be reanimated, you need a way to get it in the graveyard, and you need a reanimation spell. But when it comes together, it is very difficult to beat. Like, they slow discarded, you know, to be able to toss that. This was where they froze up last time, so who knows? Maybe that's an option for us. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a look-see here. So Geist is sort of something we want because it can deal a lot of damage. The Ratchet Bomb's too slow, so that's an easy discard for us. 4 plus 4 would do it. 4, 5, 6 is not going to do it. Let's see. I could do 4. I need to get to 8 mana for that, and I'm not going to get to 8 mana. I'm certainly keeping the burst because it can go to the face. I kind of like the Geist as like almost enough pressure. Do I want to pay 2 life to save that? I can't actually. Yeah, I can't stop an ultimate price because the Spellskite's not monocolored, so it couldn't target it. So that doesn't matter. At least I don't think that works. Yeah, sure, that happens. I can't go to 5 because I can't draw anything that matters. So it's just a choice of what to discard. I can play Thing and Burst Lightning, but I don't have 2 more things to interact with it. So maybe I think we get rid of this. I want both of my land drops. God, they're going back up to 14. I can't do anything about that. I guess I need to save the FTK in case we draw one of the other burn spells. Geist isn't going to be enough to kill them because I'm dead in 2 hits. I have to draw into a solution. Right? I could play Ral, untap a land. No, that doesn't get us there. Here's 4, 5, 6, which is not 7. They're going to hit me to 5. Play Batterskull, still dead. Yet I think the only thing that matters right now is if I can draw a bigger burn spell. So I'll keep the things that let me do that. Sarkhan just doesn't matter. Ral plus... Yeah, I've got to be able to do 4 plus 3. So I think Lightning Strike may be my only out here. So maybe these just don't matter. Because Roast won't do it. This guy's just too big. Yeah, I think we'll go here, but this could easily be wrong. I don't think we're going to get this one because their draws were just so darn good. Like, they didn't even need to draw cards with Gristlebrand. Just hit it. I guess a Sower potentially buys us a turn unless they can kill it. Okay, Mountain is not what we needed. So, can I do anything here? I don't think so. I've got Kavu for 4, 5, 6. That's still short. Sarkhan for 4, 5, 6 is still short. Sarkhan hit them in the face. Doesn't do anything. We would definitely need a blocker, which we don't have. It's got double strikes, so we could get in 4 damage and then burn for 2 more, which is not enough. Yeah, the only part of interaction we had there was hoping that they drew with Gristlebrand when they were at 17, because we could get 10 on the board pretty easily. Given that, we don't have any way to interact with this. This is kind of the downside of Cube. 4 plus 2 still isn't 7. 4 plus 2 still isn't 7. Is 3 plus 2 7? No, 3 plus 2 isn't 7. So how much damage could I do to the face? 4, 5, 6. Alright, I guess we'll go out swinging. I still think this deck has potential, but this is not going to end well for us. Get wrecked, son! So note, we've done 20 points of damage to our opponent. That just wasn't enough. Gristlebrand, Breakfast of Champions, confirmed Stronk in Cube. Well, they got their combo deck together. We only got half of our combo pieces. I do like a good Reanimator deck because of this. Like, if you can assemble Gristlebrand, Reanimate, or most of the time Elish Norn Reanimate, and a way to get them in your graveyard, it's really hard to lose. But the good news about the Cube League is we get to play again. So we got 2 more rounds, regardless of whether we got our butt kicked or not. So we'll see you for the next round in just a moment.